This week we're going to be preparing Loud and Ugly for the Rockin' Race here. That's July 10th through the 14th at Dragway 42 in West Salem, Ohio. We'll be heading down there for the weekend, so if you want to come out and support, a good place to come out. There's tons of gassers and a lot of bands and everything playing. It's a really great event. But what we're going to do for race prep today is eliminate our red rags. So at the last video, or the last race we went to at Thompson, it kind of turned into a test and tune, which was a bummer, but we tried just blocking this off, and it kept the oil from running down my valve covers and leaking all over the place. So I'm sick of dealing with the oil leaking, and I thought it'd look a lot nicer if we had these valve covers popped off, get them machined, and then we're going to put on some AN bungs. So we'll aluminum TIG weld those on here in a little bit. And then we'll weld some bungs on the little valves down here as well, so we can run AN 12 line with nice fittings. It'll look a lot nicer, and it's going to seal up so this isn't leaking anymore. So we're going to get started on that right now. As you can see here, this is what I'm talking about. We wrapped the red rag around these breathers so it wouldn't leak. We're going to eliminate those. We're switching to the AM fittings. To put an AM fitting in here though, I'm going to have to take this rubber grommet out and then machine these down so that I can get a nice TIG weld on there, and then that way it seals up nice. We're going to start by popping these valve covers off. I grabbed the wrong size. So I even tried using a little bit of Mega Black around the edges, and that still didn't seal it up good enough. So take those out, and then this is our aluminum bungs right here. Just going to do a little test fit. Make sure those are going to fit good before we fully commit to this project. Boom, there's our AN 12 bung. Well, we're gonna have a little gap to fill, which honestly I may not even have to take these and get them machined, because I didn't really look at this before, but we're gonna have a little bit of gap to fill. And with that being said, I can fit the TIG torch down in there and fill that in. So I don't think I'm going to need to get these milled down. That saves us a little bit of time today. Alright, well, I don't know everything about TIG welding, especially TIG welding aluminum. Very new at it. Since I got this Prime Weld 325X, I've used it a ton for just regular mild steel TIG welding, and it works phenomenally. So I've been spending a little bit more time using a TIG welder versus a MIG welder now, which is going to help out a ton. But aluminum, as you know, if you weld aluminum, it reacts a lot different than mild steel does. So like I said, we didn't have to go get these milled down because I'm able to push the tungsten out a little bit to get in there and tack this. So the problem is there's a little bit of a gap. I need to find something that'll hold this right here so that I can kind of get in there, tack it, and then once it's tacked in place, then I'll be able to show you the gap that's around it a little bit better, and then I'll just fill it in the best I can. These are some of my practice welds here, but this is just on flat. I mean, it looks really nice. This machine welds awesome. These are like first welds ever when I was trying to figure out how to set this thing up. We've got it set to 125 for the amps. For the hertz or frequency, I think it's at 130. And I got 30% balance on this. So Like I said, I don't know everything. I don't know if those are proper settings, but if it sticks, it sticks, and then we'll have some breathers. Oh my gosh, this is hard. Okay, I got one tack on there. That's hard because this is like floating around. I don't know how else to explain it to everybody. They're like, dude, you don't know what you're doing. And you're right. I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm making it work. So that is that. I'm gonna go ahead and try to clean that up a little bit and then work on another tack. So one thing I learned before was I had a friend of mine, Jeff, weld on the bungs to my fuel cell in the bed of my truck, and the heat actually warped the threads because I didn't have a fitting on it. So I'm going to put this fitting on there loosely because I don't want to have that same problem. Also, it's going to keep any splatter or whatever off of the threads, which we shouldn't be getting a lot of splatter, but like I said, I don't really know what I'm doing. We're just kind of winging it, going from there. So we'll leave that on, weld it up, and see what it looks like when we're done. We've got the 90-degree fittings on the valve covers here. Fittings are all the bungs are welded on. Those were the aluminum ones. The little valves that are down on the headers are steel, so I bought some steel bungs for those. We're gonna pop those off, TIG weld them on the bench, put them back on, cut the hose, and then they'll all be done. Little breather one-way valves off at the bottom where they go into the collector or the header. I've got the steel bung that we're going to weld to the top of it here. That way our AN line is compatible with it. Originally you just slip a hose over this. For now, this is all I'm going to do. I do plan on making or getting a actual vacuum pump eventually, but as you know, everything costs money, and this is going to just seal everything up for now so that I don't get any oil leaks. Alright, I've already threaded that one on there with the fitting. So we got a fitting on the valve cover and a fitting on that little Venturi valve. This fitting for the other side is broke. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait till Monday to get a new one on order so I can weld another bung to this for the driver's side. But we can go ahead and get our hoses cut today because it's gonna be the same size as this. We'll be able to swap this valve over there to cut the line, and then that way we're ready to go. All I gotta do is thread one of these on, well, weld the bung on the top, thread it on, hook the line up, and then we'll be all set with it. That's going to complete today's little episode there of welding those bungs on the valves down low, or the one valve that we had. Got to wait till Monday to go to the parts store and pick up another one. And then we've got the aluminum bungs on the valve covers. So they look good. This is going to seal it up and probably not leak as much oil as those ugly breathers were. They're coming out where the stamped steel was like pressed together. Just pour out down on the headers and everything. So I had to do something. I really want to run a vacuum pump system on this, but I don't have $1,500 laying around for that right this second. Got some big news for next episode. Hopefully I can show you what Jordan and I have got in the works here for Loud and Ugly Garage. We're pretty excited to announce that. So stay tuned for next episode. We'll be working on Dad's front end on his C10, finishing up those tubular control arms on the front. Maybe go out for a rip. It all depends if we can get his steering and all the lines hooked up. But yeah, then we're going to be down at Dragway 42 from the 10th to the 13th of July. And that will be for the Rockin' Race. So make sure you come out there, check out Loud and Ugly, buy some shirts, hats, stickers. You can hop on our website. We've got the new gassed out t-shirts if you want to represent Cal's 56. Or I've got the original tees for my truck. So appreciate all the support. Thanks for watching today, and we'll catch you next time.